Hello, teachers. It's my favorite time of the month. Time to roll out the ISTE challenge of the month. And I just want to remind you that we're keeping all the resources together for you in one place. And I've gone back and I've linked the training we did back in January for the elementary and secondary teachers. We had sites that we built for each of you, each of the school levels. And then remember, we had information and resources linked for each one of the standards. So this is a great place to go back and refresh your knowledge, get more ideas. The resources there are excellent for each of the student standards, and that can give you more information in meeting the ISTE challenge. All right, so moving on to November. Our November challenge is Knowledge Constructor. That is the student standard we are focusing on for November, and we feel that that correlates with the educator standard of leader. So it's not always obvious which standards go together. So like digital citizen and citizen, it's pretty obvious. But for knowledge constructor, we feel it goes most closely to the educator standard of leader. So you can read through those indicators again to refresh yourself on what you're looking for this month. This month is pretty broad. Knowledge constructor, right? That can go across all grade levels, all disciplines, how children are creating knowledge in the classroom, and also what are they doing with research and resources. So this challenge is pretty broad. You're going to learn by a little bit about Book Creator as our resource of the month, and you can review those down at the bottom. We have the screencast there by the different grade levels. Again, you don't have to use Book Creator, but that's our one resource that we wanted to highlight this month because we figured, again, it was going across all grade levels that you could use Book Creator as a place to either curate knowledge for your students, make a book for your students with resources, or have your students create with the knowledge that they've gained. So you can see there's a diagram here for you to refer to. And then what you want to do this month is you want to research, evaluate, curate, or create a project with your students. So again, you can see it's very broad. Whatever's already in your curriculum, whatever research that you're already doing, projects you're doing with your students, you can use that to meet the ISTE standards, and then don't forget to document your lesson here. I'm going to go over just a few of the resources we have linked for you, because when we think about research, we want you using what the databases and what CCA is already paying for. So again, we've linked the elementary resources here and the secondary resources. Chris has done a great job. She's actually used a place called Wakelet to curate the resources for you. So we do both. As educators, we're curating resources for our students, or tech coaches, we're curating for you, our teachers. And then the same thing, students need to know how to curate. What are they going to do with when they start researching and they find good websites or they find good information? So students for resources for students to curate, something like Noodle Tools. And I know our history teachers are used to using Noodle Tools, but I've linked the tutorial there if you're not familiar with it, how students can save their research and their resources and then go into make their bibliographies. And then here's another great article. It's pretty lengthy, but it has a lot of great curation tools that you can use as an educator, and you can also use with your students. And then also we thought it was appropriate to link a research process model, because a lot of times teachers struggle with teaching research, or they assume that students know more about research than they do. So those are just some of the resources we have for you this month. Just want you to know it's never too late to get started, and you can always contact one of your tech coaches to help you meet the ISTE challenge. Good luck.